Welcome to the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. The center is the living legacy to Dr. King and his dream.
He had a dream?
Oh, yes. He had a dream for freedom, justice, and equality for all people, everywhere.
What's this?
This is the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to Dr. King for his nonviolent work.
What's that?
That's the proclamation declaring Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national holiday, a holiday for peace.
Was Dr. King a good man? Was he a smart man? Was he a kind man?
Yes, he was all of these things.
How come you know so much about him? Yeah.
Because he was also my father.
I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I would like to wish you all who celebrate and all who don't celebrate happy Dr. Martin Luther King holiday. Um, I thank you for joining me. Let me see. Hey, Vibrant Law. Thank you for being here. One and only uh, Pandy, Hair and More. Thank you for being here. So, um, oh, excuse me. I remember when that song came out. Such a beautiful song. You know, you always think that a lot of things that we've been through are behind us, and it's really it's really something uh, that how the United States has reverted backwards. There's a few things that I want to share with you. Um, Many of us think that the fight is something that is over with, is done with, but not so much. Things are going backwards in this country, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people may not see it. Uh, on this King holiday, you did hear that he won the Nobel Peace Prize. So a DEI person who uh, who demanded that he get a Nobel Peace Prize from a woman from a country that we just overthrew. Let me uh, Let me share with you the King Day announcement from this administration. If you are unaware, uh, it's unfortunately, it's unfortunate. It's no reason to be unaware in the age of 2026 what is going on in the United States of America. This link is the first link is in my description box. Emotionally exhausted, I concur. Let me find what I really wanted to share with you guys. Give me a second. I had it all set up and God knows what happened to it. It's about what the a DOJ announcement. Let's find it real quick. What they have announced on Martin Luther King's holiday. One second. Hold on. Oh my God! I cannot believe I cannot find this. Okay, let me find this right quick. I apologize. Here we go. This is what I want to share with you. So if you think that we have progressed in this nation, I want you to know that there is a concerted effort by this administration. If you, I think that you had nothing to worry about in this
Officials who
administration.
left this DOJ say that the Trump administration's priorities have shifted in the Civil Rights Division. Traditionally, the Civil Rights Division focuses on protecting minorities from racism in America. Because in the United States of America, you're not allowed to discriminate based on race. It's not just race, religion, there's more, etc. But now the Trump administration is changing tactics. No longer is the goal protecting minorities. The goal now is protecting white Americans from so-called reverse discrimination. And it comes after the President of the United States himself said that the Civil Rights Act harmed a lot of white people. This is serious, and this is the new developments in the Trump DOJ. I will continue to provide you more updates as we get information, and so spread the word, because I think people need to know about this, and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. We have some major news right now. The Trump Justice Department is changing tactics, now focusing on protecting white people from reverse racism. I am serious. According to CBS News, Justice Department officials who left this DOJ say that the Trump administration's priorities have shifted in the Civil Rights Division. Traditionally, the Civil Rights Division focuses on protecting minorities from racism in America. Because in the United States of America, you're not allowed to discriminate based on race. It's not just race, religion, there's more, etc. But now the Trump administration is changing tactics. No longer is the goal protecting minorities. The goal now is protecting white Americans from so-called reverse discrimination. And it comes after the President of the United States himself said that the Civil Rights Act harmed a lot of white people. This is serious, and this is the new developments in the Trump DOJ. I will continue to provide you more updates as we get information, and so spread the word, because I think people need to know about this, and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. We have some major news right now.
I thought you needed to know about that as well. I thought you needed to know about that as well. Now, there has been something else that has broke this morning. If you can actually believe that the Department of Justice is going to file, they announced that they are going to file a case against Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. If you are unaware of this weekend, some anti-ICE protesters protested in a church. You know, the same places that ICE have gone into and interrupt services to catch undocumented immigrants. You know, those churches, that type of thing. But the thing about this church is, you know what's strange about this church? This church is pastored by a ICE official. Yes, he is the pastor of this church. So now it has been announced that they are, if you are not aware of that PM7 that I alerted you to, you may want to familiarize yourself with that. So they are going to charge him. They announced this on Dr. King's Day that they are going to charge a black reporter under the Ku Klux Klan Act for interrupting a service that happens to be pastored by an ICE agent. If you did not know that, um, I'm just giving you that information. So let me read the information for you, and let's see how this makes any sense. Okay, let's see how this makes any sense. Here's the post on X that has come down from the acting civil rights attorney general. Let's go through this. Uh, Hamid Dillon is her name. Let me share. Oh, okay. I'm sharing this with you from Hamid Dillon. Uh, the civil rights The civil rights is investigating the potential violations of the federal FACE Act. This was her initial report. The potential violations of the FACE Act by these people did desecrating a house of worship in and interfering with Christian worshipers. And she hashtag Pam Bondi in this. So this is the actual footage that Don Lemon showed from that. The man right there with the tie is the pastor who is also an ICE official. Okay, so this is what happened in the church. If you are not familiar with it, and then she goes on to say, considering and investigating other related crimes as well. FBI activated too. A hashtag the Justice Department. So this is the second in command of civil rights in the United States. Civil rights. Okay. You see what happened in the church. Don Lemon led this charge into churches. Spitfire, which is an absolute lie. Don Lemon reported on what was going on, as he reported on many things that were going on. But this is what went on. Okay, let's continue. Now, here's another liar. It was a BLM direct action. You see how this is growing? It was a BLM direct action. The shutdown of the city's church worship services at St. Paul, Minnesota, were co-organized by BLM activist Nikema Levy Armstrong. He used to be the president of the NAACP in Minneapolis. Okay, there's that. So let me see what else. I'm going to link this. I am also have this in my description box. You can visit it and read all of the things. Now, here is somebody named Nan. The trouble of posting a video claiming he had nothing to do with it. Video bites when there's proof, Don. There's proof something to do with what? Don Lemon put himself on camera on his own show. He knows what he did. But what is this? He had something to do with it. Did he report on it? Okay. Let's continue. But you notice what they have to say about what Don Lemon did, and talking about pressing charges on Don Lemon. Because he had the audacity to report on a protest in a church. But what have they told you about the ICE agents going into churches, grabbing up people, and people running for their lives in churches? Do you hear much about that? Do they have a law that has been broken regarding that? Let's see. Now here's Patrick Jimico. Is civil rights investigating any of the many alleged constitutional violations committed by DHS agents? That's a crime, FYI. Or will you be focused exclusively on protesters? There is a good question. Now he actually has the deprivation of rights under color of law. That is a crime. To the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected. So actually posted his law, not just his opinion. So many investigations, so few arrests. With Don Lemon being the cause, don't forget to interview Hemet. He's trying to start the fire. Hemet is a woman. Okay. No reason Don Lemon shouldn't be handcuffed by the end of the day. How long are you guys going to allow this domestic terrorism to go on? You're such nerds. We're investigating it. It's on video. or what's there to investigate? Make arrests. Arrests for what? For exactly what crime? Democrats during the COVID 2020 don't even think about going to church. Also, Democrats doing COVID 2020, you have to riot. So, what's your point? Okay, I don't get it. So Christians can be persecuted. I'm going to grab a bunch of my big redneck buds and go attend a mosque. And we're going to talk about this. So all of this about going to this ICE agent's church. Now let's okay. So let me. I'm going to drop the X link. It will be under uh, announcement of charges. So you can find that yourself. And let's see what she said the charges were going to be under the FACE Act or something like that. Uh, Let me go to that. Yes, the FACE Act. Let's revisit the what she initially said. Dillon said in a post on the X Sunday afternoon that the Justice Department was investigating potential violations of the Federal FACE Act by these people desecrating a house of worship and interfering with Christian worshipers, referring to the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. What is that? Referring to the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. The law enacted in 1994 prohibits interfering with other or obstructing people from seeking reproductive health services or exercising religious freedom at a place of worship. In her interview with Johnson Dillon, she also mentioned that the possibility of invoking an enforcement of the 1871 Enforcement Act of 1871, known as the Ku Klux Klan Act, which was passed during Reconstruction and protect Black American civil rights. So instead of protecting a black person's civil rights, she's going to use the law in this reverse racism thing that the United States government has going on. So the rights you fought for to get from under persecution from whites, they are claiming reverse racism. And this is the first charge of trying to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. Whenever anyone conspires to violate the protected civil rights of American citizens, the Klan Act can be used to bring conspiracy charges, she said. So now she is telling you that Don Lemon was a conspirator. He conspired with the protesters. No, so I guess every other news broadcaster conspired with protesters. You know where this is taking you? This is taking you right up back to NSPM7, where this Justice Department will find any way to persecute someone based on bogus charges. And there is something about being anti-Christian in that NSPM7, if you are unaware. You know where else this is taking you? This is taking you to the fact that I think it was over 200 journalists were um, died in Gaza, trying to report what was going on in Gaza, financed by the United States of America with money and ammunition. This is where it seems to be taking us, if you are unclear. So Laura Ingram down there asking protesters, "Why are you wearing masks?" And not asking that of the ICE agents, but asking that of the protesters, knowing fully well that Palantir has a whole mechanism that ICE is using to identify every person who's protesting. If you think that you can go down and protest and that is your constitutional right, it is your constitutional right. But what your government is doing is it's collecting all of your facial recognition data and it is putting you in a database. If you don't know, this is what the United States of America is doing to people who are exercising their constitutional rights. I'm here to give you some more about that information. Um, is there one more thing I want to share with you on that? I think that's it. Okay, I will share a little bit about I will share a little bit about the uh, Ku Klux Klan Act with you, since I have it up. I'm going to drop this link in the chat so you can peruse it if you choose to. Hey, Daniel, it's good to see you. There's this link. What does the KKK Act say? Here we are. Okay. After nearly a week of heated debate in the House and the Senate, the chambers are reconciled their differences on April 20 when the House agreed to the conference report on H.R. 320 and the Senate concurred. The Ku Klux Klan Act, the third in a series of increasingly stringent enforcement acts, was designed to empower the federal government to protect the civil and political rights of individuals. The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, defines citizenship and guaranteed due process and equal protection of the law to all, including for millions of formerly enslaved men and women. And this is the act that they are going to charge Don Lemon with. Do you wonder how? It's because of the white victimization that is going on. Now all of a sudden there is a such thing of reverse racism when there could never be a such thing of reverse racism because the people who have turned this law to protect black people to try to arrest a black man under this law. The whole reason, the whole point of racism is that they have the power to do that. Black people do not have the power to change the meaning of the law to something exactly opposite of what a law is, and then arrest white people. And that's why you heard from Elon Musk about the low birth rates of white people, because God knows if it is more of them than it is us, they are going to treat us 1,000% worse. So that's conscience of guilt right there. And Elon Musk is shooting out these messages about how much worse the white population would be treated based upon their treatment of the people who were lower populate who had the lower population and who was treated horribly by white people. And this is what Elon Musk is boosting out of X all of the time. So let's be clear about this. Okay. To ratify the citizenship guarantee, due process, and equal protection of the law to all, including 4 million formerly enslaved black men and women. Vigilante groups like the Ku Klux Klan, however, freely threaten African Americans and their white allies in the South and undermine the Republican Party's plans for Reconstruction. The Ku Klux Klan Act made it a federal crime to deny any group or individual any of the rights, privileges, or immunities or protections named in the Constitution. To enforce the law, the president could suspend habeas corpus, deploy the U.S. military, or use other means as he may deem necessary. Opponents denounced the bill as an unconstitutional attack on state governments and individual liberties. Administration supporter William E. Lansing of New York rejected the mischievous doctrine of state sovereignty, citing widespread acts of outrage and violence, which the states where they occur have either no power or will to prevent. So, what they're trying to say is that Minnesota has no power or will to prevent these horrible acts of peacefully protesting. So you notice that in this act of this Ku Klux Klan Act, there's also the mention of suspending habeas corpus and to deploy the military to use other means as he may deem necessary. Do you understand why they went from the FACE Act to the Ku Klux Klan Act on Don Lemon reporting on protesters going into a church? Now we're gonna see what happened in this church. Let's see what's. Let me drop this link also in my description box. I, I may need to come back to this. This is in my description box under the KKK Act. If you want to review it, go over to my description box and it will be there. Another way to have a reason to put our military in the streets. So we will pretend like we're going to where we're going to charge a black man uh, under a law that was prevented from white men from terrorizing recently freed slaves, terrorizing them, lynching them, and unaliving them in many sorts of ways. We're going to pretend like we need to charge Don Lemon with that in furtherance of suspending habeas corpus and having an excuse to put the military on the streets of the United States. Are we clear on that? I just hope you're clear on that. Okay. I think that's all that I have on that. So let me go a little further in some things that I wanted to share. Um, Don Lemon was on, I think it's iHip. I think it's, what is it? Let me see. This administration is sick. Hey, hey, Rachel Dickerson. It is good to see you. Hey, Taybay Forever. It is good to see you. Hey, everyone. It is good to see you all. If you find out something new, you are welcome to hit the gold button. I meant to put it on any level. Any level. My intentions here is to just share some information you may not be familiar with. So let me share some of the protesting that went on this weekend, and let's see what these people are going to be charged with. There is someone, I forget his name. I do not want to really put his name out there at all. Um, he's running for Marco Rubio's seat, his Marco Rubio's Senate seat. I wonder, did you see this protest that went on in Minneapolis this weekend? Um, so there was a ICE a protest going on in Minneapolis, and then all of a sudden, this guy who is running for Marco Rubio's Senate seat. You know, do you also know who this guy is? Who was out in Minneapolis with a boom box connected to a speaker, playing Ice Ice Baby, a counter ice. A counter anti-ICE protester who showed up with about 10 people and trying to provoke this crowd, trying to actually provoke the crowd. He showed up with a vest on that said infidel on it. If you're not clear on what this flag vest said, it said infidel. And then was he surprised when the ICE protesters surrounded him and started yelling and screaming and telling him to go home? And then all of a sudden, he found himself pushed back in the window crevice of a window. And I am really so sick of you black do-wells who parted the sea to give him an exit through the crowd, talking about let him out, let him out. Who let him in? It was absolutely the Department of Homeland Security that was protecting him to let him in across the street from the other protesters. And now here come this do good. Now let me be clear. This do-gooder, you didn't even have your face covered. So all of the do-gooding that you did to open the crowd to let this guy out, you are I'm pretty sure you have been entered into a database of a protesters who was trying to harm this guy. Who is this guy? He's running for Senate in Florida, of course. This is someone who was convicted on January 6th who got a pardon. This is who this guy is. This is who this guy is. Now he's running for Senate. Now he's out here in the midst of upheaval, trying to entice the people to do the violence that this administration is only looking for. So, do you think that it's by happenstance that this man just happened to have a clear way to walk up and have his speaker going, and there's no one around him, and there's no other people on the other side of the street, as one side of the street is filled with ICE protesters? How do you think that came about? Do you think this is some organic shit? And they put up their pro ICE stickers and all of that. Do you think that they were protected by the Department of Homeland Security to do this? Because we understand that 4547 does want the military in the street. And this fake production to get the military in the street from someone who has, but was the military or the was anybody called when he was out here on January 6th doing the shit that got him fucking arrested and charged and convicted for the shit that he did on January 6th that he had to be pardoned for from 4547? And 4547 was in office then. Was 4547 haggling to get the military out in the street for people who were protesting for the lie that he had won the election? This is who this guy is. Now, let's talk about Christianity. You know, the thing that 4547 said, he is not a Christian. Now we are trying to pretend like this is a Christian nation so far that in that NSPM7 that they say if you are reported as being anti-Christian, they have an 800 number to report you to the FBI. Y'all not aware about that? Well, get aware about that. Look at my last two videos. I go over the NSPM7 or find the NSPM7 National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, NSPM7. Read it for yourself. Now we're trying to pretend like all of a sudden, United States was created to be a Christian nation, when in fact the United States was created because so that people didn't have to suffer through all of these fucking church rules that they had over in England. So there wouldn't they didn't have to sit under religious persecution. So we're trying to pretend like well it is because put that in any of the United States. It didn't matter what religion they practiced. So all of this is a Christian nation, is a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so this person who got a pardon from 4547 and is out here chanting all of this pro ICE stuff. What happened to his vest? What happened to his vest when he got down in the crowd? Is this the infidel vest? Yes, that's the infidel vest. Is this the infidel vest? In the hand of someone else? Why are you surprised that this is the infidel vest? You shouldn't be surprised that that is the infidel vest. Of course, that is the infidel vest that he was wearing. It was also reported that he had planned to burn a Quran. Now, what does the Quran have to do with any of the ICE movements? What does the Quran, what does the Muslim religion have to do with anything that's going on with ICE? Did he plan to burn a Bible? Yes, and someone Quran. Yes, and someone happened to get the Quran from him. And let's look at the Quran. Let's look at the Quran. This guy back in the back here. You see a knee. That knee. He is on the ground praying to this Quran. And do you see what is in the Quran? Are you looking carefully at this Quran? It has slices of bacon in between the pages of this Quran. But was the National Guard called out on this person who had a Quran that he planned to burn with pieces of bacon in the Quran? What was anybody called out, or was he allowed to try to come into a crowd that is already protesting with some weak ass anti-protest to appear to be a victim? So, what is it with all of this white victimhood that is going on in the United States? To try to get the your whole United States Army, military, Air Force, and Marines out in your streets. The Project 2025 already told you what it was. But a lot of people are not paying attention to anything. Okay. And then here is someone in the crowd of 10 who lost his way. And now he's walking around by himself. I don't know, did somebody pour ketchup on him like they used to do when black people were fighting for their civil rights? Maybe that's ketchup. I don't know. So he's walking around and looking all disheveled and all like, ICE is doing the right thing. Well, at least I think they are. So you don't even know why you're there. ICE, you're there because you wanted to support ICE because they were doing the right thing. And then you say, well, something to the effect that, well, I think they are. At least I think they are. Oh, really? Well, how come you couldn't support them from the home? But no, you decided to bring your ass out there. because you think that the military is just going to be in the streets for the protesters. These people think they have some grand way into polite society. See, the polite society that wants to put the military out on the streets of all the citizens of the United States, they already have the way in. They are cultivating this. They are the ones who are fooling you to go out here and do dumb shit so they can get the military out in the streets. Do you think they give a fuck about you and what you think and feel when you can't even be true to the reason why you brought your silly ass out there in the first place? Okay. Hey, Z Sarah. Oh yeah, that's him. I wouldn't have helped that man. Yes, I've already talked about Don Lemon, Z Sarah. Yes, they're trying to. They said that they will possibly they will possibly um, arrest him under the Ku Klux Klan Act, no less. Z Sarah, you have to look at the start of the video. The Ku Klux Klan Act, no less. Okay. So let me see what else I want to share with you on today. So here's the remnants of this guy went to a parking garage and he walked up the parking garage and he was lost and he went back down the stairs and status quo is where I saw this. So status quo followed him around and he went right back up the parking garage. But then he was two or three of his little friends had also converged on the parking garage. So they were trying to get out of there then. So they walked up the steps and there was he was trying to fight someone, of course, with a United States flagpole with the United States flag on it. So wouldn't that be desecrating the flag? You know, all of these patriots was using a flag pole, reminiscent of January 6th when cops were beating over their head with flag poles. So he finally gets to his car and they tell the people, no, step away from the car, step away from the car. And then they take off down the little circular little driveway to leave the parking garage and hit a person who did not try to stand in front of the car, who was actually just walking up the hill of the ramp, got hit by this car that kept on going. So, have you heard about anything happening to these people? Did you hear anything happening to these people who actually struck someone and kept? That's they call that hit and run in the United States. They call that a reason to get shot 3 times in the face in the United States nowadays. Did you hear anything about these people? Is what I want to know. So we are going to review what I. You don't have to believe me. Trust and believe. I have it right here, and I want to share it with you right now. Let me find this because I'm sure you haven't heard about any of these things. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's up here. His name is Jake Lang. So the activist who showed up with the infidel vest on, and he also showed up with the Bible. I mean the Quran with the bacon in the Quran. Let's review a little bit of what was going on in Minneapolis. Uh, I'm going to link this in my description box. The link will be in my description box. I'm using this under fair use to show you some things that you may not have seen. Under Lang, I'm not trying to get his name recognition out here, but it will be in my description box under Lang. Let's see what Lang was up to. The pardoned January 6er.
But we know that risking our jobs/lives is not worth it. Your brain rot libs are not worth our time. We just show up to the polls. God bless America and God bless Donald Trump. Dork ass alert. That dork ass Jake Lang tried to have an anti-Muslim march in Minneapolis. It got like 10 people. Lamau. Mercado Media is down on the ground too.
Take the bait.
My goat.
You tried to bait him. Yeah, we're still alive. Appreciate everybody.
This guy's awesome.
This is he does this everywhere. This is the first time I've seen such a response. Minneapolis truly is on a league of their own in their country.
Some people think wearing a hat backwards for children. Some people. I feel that way too. I don't see the need to. Only like 10 people. That dork ass Jake Lang tried to have an anti-Muslim march in Minneapolis. Got like 10 people. So one of the funniest. So someone asked who Jake Lang. I think he's one of the most interesting Nazis I've ever met. Well, I've never personally met him, but the reason why is because he's Jewish. Like straight up. Like he went to the Wailing Wall, like wore a like Teflon rocking straight like follow.
And he does have the picture. And does it now make you feel any kind of way about him having the Quran? Reporters, does it make you feel any kind of way now? All of a sudden, the Muslim religion is bought into this by this Jewish by this Jewish person. So are you not getting on him for desecrating for being anti-Muslim? No, because the only religions that matter is the one they tell you outside Christianity, and the one they persecute you for and try to say you're anti-Semitic if you say something about the Jewish religion. But they have nothing to say about what went on with this man. Let's continue.
The Torah Judaism, right? And for some weird reason, like wearing the tefillin to protest, to be like, hey, like this guy is pro-Nazi protest. And a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, well, why is there only 10 people? And the reason for why there's only 10 people is because every family would attend these sorts of protests is already being paid by the federal government directly because they're in ICE now. So that's the reason why these protests. This is what happened 1 minute before you clicked on the stream. Jake Lang flees, able to get into a car away from the crowd, bleeding from being attacked by a large crowd in Minneapolis today. I'm shaking my head. I can't believe that this happened. This is devastating. I can't believe they beat his Nazi ass. That's so up. By the way, before people say, you guys call everybody Nazis, like these are the types of dudes who call themselves Nazis. I just don't understand why, if you're going to be a Nazi agitator, why you wouldn't just become an ICE agent like all the rest of the Nazi agitators that straight up were like, yeah, let's just become ICE agents, let's get paid by the government, $50,000 signing bonus, as long as you stay committed for like the first 3. Oh, they're issuing a dispersal order.
Andrew, hey, buddy. Good. How you doing? I know, man. What up, Chris? I know, right? He didn't get what he wanted, and well, he didn't get the support, but you got a response. Not even, maybe 5. 5 is like a high number. He had his like one little
Yeah, I used to use the LRADs as a perfect example of the Imperial Boomerang. Like first they used the weapons over there on victims of colonialism, victims of imperialism.
Minneapolis, the immediate deportation.
Once again, Twitter is not real life. This dipshit gets 7,000 likes on Twitter, but in the real world, he got
up against this.
Winneapolis, you already know. The cold builds character, you will be okay. I know. Anyway, this is Jake Lang.
Will be burning Qurans, standing up against the Somali invasion of Minneapolis, the immediate deportation.
Once again, Twitter is independent media with pro-regime propaganda. Asmongold is a great example of this. Okay. Yes, Jake Lang, their protest organizer Jake Lang just got dragged into a crowd and assaulted multiple times. Police are doing absolutely amazing how they don't have the police resources to stop ICE, but plenty to protect Nazis. Yeah, dude. Well, because they agree with them, right? Remember, the FOP said, we stand in solidarity with our ICE brothers, you know? Damn, Nazis sure do love the Cambria. That's where Rich any of this stuff. Let's be real. Jake Lang left bloodied and beaten as he's escorted through the mob. I'm not a fan of this guy's act, but I see no reason to not forcibly remove all these people from society. They're hardly human savages. Wait, what? Through the mob. I'm not a fan of this guy's act, but I see no reason to not forcibly remove all these people from society. They're hardly human savages. Wait, what? Oh, he's saying like all of these other people that that were escorting him need to be forcibly removed from society. Got it. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, no, definitely. He's like, yeah, I don't really like this Nazi, but I totally agree with him that we should violently kill every single person that doesn't like Nazis. Only have to, once again, why are we talking about China? Okay. Why the fuck are we talking about China? The reason why we're talking about China is because you don't want to talk about what's going on in your backyard in the United States of America. So you go, China. Sometimes you're such a liberal. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. We're having a serious conversation about America's fascism that's unfolding right in front of our eyes. And first you went, well, don't you think Hitler was worse? don't you think the Holocaust was worse? Yeah, the Holocaust was worse than what we have seen thus far, but it's getting to that point. And the entire reason why we learn about the Holocaust is so that it doesn't get to the point of the Holocaust once again. Little bro trying to run some Epoch Times analysis of America. Yeah. Jake Lang was doing politics the right way.
Y'all just let him leave. It's not working. Hey!
Only here because Asmin isn't live. I just want to know what's going on, but not here for commentary. I'll use my eyes. Here, I'll give it to you guys. Yeah, these guys are just exercising their free speech rights, which should content creators on the platform, but I keep talking about how all these other content creators wearing the tefillin too emerged on X, which has led to an outcry on the right that Lang is subverting their movement in bad faith. In an interview with Shirley, published on December 18th, Lang confirmed that his mother is an Ashkenazi Jew, but adds that he was raised Irish Catholic. He also adds that while he has Jewish blood, he has never practiced Judaism. Bitch, what do you mean you never practiced Judaism? I'm going to be honest. I think he's an agent. Like, I think this is like, you know how Tommy Robinson in the UK is a Mossad agent? I think this motherfucker is a Mossad agent. Okay? Straight up. These guys abso-fucking-lutely 100p really get in to these sorts of movements and try to subvert it or try to like really move it in a different direction.
An unconstitutional conspiracy at the highest levels of the Trump administration, led by his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, has been called out and uncovered by a senior status federal judge, a Republican appointee at that, in Massachusetts, coming off of bombshell hearing in which the Trump administration and its cabinet were scolded in public for one of the most audacious attempts to crush First Amendment expression in an '85-year-old senior status judge's history. In fact, irony not lost on me. During the lead-in to Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, Judge Young in Massachusetts said that of the Trump administration are akin to when people were paid bounties to chase after newly freed slaves, to re-enslave them and return them to their masters. I'm Michael Popak. We've got your attention. You're on Midas Touch. And on Legal AF, let's talk about Judge Young. Judge Young is a part of a team of senior status judges who are in their late 70s and 80s who are defending democracy every day, like Judge Breyer in San Francisco, who issued his ruling about Donald Trump's violation of the Posse Comitatus Act and the National Guard in California, stopping Donald Trump in his tracks. Or Judge Coffenor up in Seattle, who issued the first birthright citizenship decision that kicked off the whole protection of our 14th Amendment rights to be born in this country and recognized as an American. And now Judge Young, who has been chastised by the United States Supreme Court, who said he was defiant because he didn't follow a prior order of theirs as precedent. He shrugged his shoulders and said, defiant? He basically said, I'm an 85-year-old senior status judge. It was not my intention to be defiant. I just didn't understand your ruling about Donald Trump cutting off funding to be such a precedent based on the emergency docket. And now he has in front of him students and professors who are here on student visas and or on green cards who are protesting Donald Trump's foreign policy and policy related to Israel and the Palestinian people. And so he was effectively jailing Palestinian protesters on college campuses, not committing crimes, just committing First Amendment freedom of expression, which you enjoy even if you are not an American citizen. Anyone on U.S. soil enjoys First Amendment and constitutional protections. They're not terrorist sympathizers that need to be expelled. If you can believe it, and I know you can, the Trump administration spokespeople even went so far as to call for the expulsion or deportation of Judge Young for having ruled against the democratically appointed president. Yeah, it's gotten that bad. Have a seat. Let me read to you from this is just a hearing now about what should the remedy be. This judge already found that the Trump administration committed serious conspiratorial acts of First Amendment abuse against the rights of these people to speak out freely. Instead, they were taken off the streets. They were disappeared into ICE detention facilities, sound familiar, without due process, and held for months until they were bailed out at some point. And the Trump administration even had the balls in court, that's a legal term, even had the balls in court to look Judge Young in the eye in the middle of this barrage of criticism of the conspiracy being unmasked and say, Judge, you don't have any jurisdiction over us anyway. The judge said, I have no jurisdiction to issue a remedy for a constitutional violation. They said, no, you have to go through immigration court. That's an immigration judge's policy. That's what he gets to do under the Immigration and Naturalization Act. You don't have the power here. Now, there is some support for that argument. We just had a ruling that came out of the Third Circuit Court of Appeals sitting in Philadelphia about Mahmoud Khalil, a Columbia University professor, adjunct professor and protester. And they basically said something like federal judges under most circumstances don't have power to remedy constitutional violations. But I think the record developed by Judge Young certainly gave him the power to fashion the remedy. And that's what this hearing was about. Listen to the quotes from those that were in the courtroom about what the judge observed. Here's what the judge said. I find it breathtaking. This is Judge Young now on Thursday, that I have been compelled on the evidence to find the conduct of such high-level officers of our government, cabinet secretaries, conspired to infringe the First Amendment rights of people with such rights here in the United States. These cabinet secretaries have failed in their sworn duty to uphold the Constitution. Think of the language that this senior status 85-year-old Reagan appointee used against the Trump administration. Conspiracy, infringe. He, in fact, at one point said this is at the highest level, that there hasn't been anybody higher than Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem to ever have gone after the First Amendment the way he's ruled that they have. I want to eat better, but I realized pretty quickly that after long days of recording, cooking healthy meals just wasn't going to happen for me. Factor doesn't ask you to meal prep or follow recipes. It just removes the that are not honoring the First Amendment. He goes on to call. He said at the hearing, talking straight here, Judge Young again, the big problem in this case is that the cabinet secretaries and ostensibly the president are not honoring the First Amendment. He goes on to call the Trump administration authoritarian, that will abuse anyone who does not toe the line absolutely, and that top officials have a fearful approach to freedom of speech that would seek to, according to him, exclude from participation everyone who doesn't agree with him. It looks like he's going to fashion a remedy to give Palestinian protesters on college campuses a special protection for First Amendment non-criminal expression. Now, look, I don't agree with everything a lot of protesters say, okay? But I will defend with my last dying breath their right to say it as long as it's not inciting violence, as long as it's not inciting murderous or violent attacks, as long as it's not, as long as it doesn't violate what we say is outside First Amendment protection. I mean, as uncomfortable as certain First Amendment expression may be, and I may not be comfortable with a conversation with some of these protesters, but by God, I will defend their right to make me uncomfortable. That's what the First Amendment is all about. And that is exactly the type of speech in the marketplace of ideas that has to be protected. And that's what you're seeing from a judge like Judge Young. Now, the senior status judges and we haven't gotten the ruling yet, and I will report back on it on Midas Touch Network. But I just think the irony of the fact that on Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, that's going to be completely ignored and disrespected by the Trump administration, a Trump administration that continues to use the trappings of our patriotism, wrapping themselves in a flag they don't deserve, wrapping themselves in the Constitution they don't deserve. I mean, still up on the website for the Department of Justice, once proud, now put out of its misery, our misery, Civil Rights Division that had investigated the murder and the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., of Medgar Evers, of the three, voting rights advocates down in Mississippi during the 1960s. They still have that proud history up on their website as if they're protecting it. And we know that they're not, because they've destroyed the Civil Rights Division. They won't acknowledge what Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement and I Have a Dream meant. I have a dream. It's to put us out of our misery and get rid of this administration and its Department of Justice. And I think I've got support for people like Judge Young. Now, of course, we've got two reactions from the Trump administration, one terrible and one horrible. We've got Tricia McLaughlin, the spokesperson for the Homeland Security, who's
of us, and they're covering their face to allow themselves to commit crimes with impunity.
Again, close to rioting.
How about this? Here's the reaction of some of the ICE thugs. This is after Renee was killed. Watch this. Look at them. Watch again. They're giddy. They are literally giddy. They're acting like kids whose mom just told them that they're going to Chuck E. Cheese. That's what this looks like to me. This is who these people are, man. This is who these people are. Like, they get off on violence. They are sadists. That's what they are. All right, more. Here we go. So take a look at how DHS, so more feds here, here's how they react when they see a memorial for Renee Good. You ready for this? This is mind-boggling.
Really, you fucking punk? That's what you're gonna fucking do?
What?
What? Do you know what the fuck is that for? What is that for? What is that for? What is that for? You're gonna push me? What is that for? What was that for? You don't give a fuck about her? This is why we're here. This is why we're here. Really, you fucking punk?
Literally knocking over a candle in the memorial for Renee Good. 37-year-old. ICE Gestapo thugs doing the same thing, except they're actually doing it as opposed to Renee, who wasn't doing it, and laughing about it afterwards. All right, shout out to Status Coup, by the way. They're the ones who got that video. More here. So this is a mask-off moment for a right-winger. This guy, as many people have said, is like the epitome of the online right. Listen to the shit that he says, bro.
The storm is here. When we come one, we go all.
So this is QAnon shit. The storm is here, where we go one, we go all. This is all QAnon shit. Which, by the way, mighty rich that the president this guy supports is a pedophile, rapist, Epstein best friend. And he's still doing this thing like, it's the Democrats who are the pedophiles of the rape. It's unbelievable.
No one can Stop what is coming. Get here, guys. We need you in Minnesota. These people are.
He's still doing this thing like it's the Democrats who are the pedophiles of the rape. It's unbelievable.
No one can stop what is coming. Get here, guys. We need you in Minnesota. These people are fucking terrorists.
Patriots, get out here. We need to back up. And all you liberal commie motherfuckers, keep your hands to yourself, or you're gonna get hurt today, all right? We executed one of you yesterday. We executed one of you yesterday. You understand?
We executed one of you yesterday. You understand that? They're happy about it. Look, I got to say, for this guy here, at least he's being honest. He's not playing hide the ball. He's saying what they really think. He's bragging about the fact that Renee Good was executed. You have a bunch of dishonest right-wingers pretending, like, I don't know what you're talking about. She wasn't executed. That was self-defense, right? At least he's saying it. No, it wasn't execution. But what he's saying is, I support it. I like it.
We executed one of you yesterday.
Don't give them the press. You're just talking to white supremacists. You guys keep playing stupid games. You guys keep getting stupid prizes. Okay? You guys keep playing stupid.
And it appears like that woman is a lefty and trying to de-escalate still.
You're gonna keep getting stupid prizes. The storm.
So it's kind of noteworthy, isn't it, that you have the ICE Gestapo thugs behind this guy as he's like spewing this shit, and they all seem totally cool with it, right? Like, they're all like, yeah, that guy's on our team. That guy's like one of our leaders. That's what this looks like, doesn't it? All right, more. Here's Representative Randy Fine, also known as the guy who said we should nuke Gaza like it's Hiroshima or Nagasaki. He said he loves seeing images of starving Palestinian babies. This is all on the record. You know, don't take my word for it. This is who this guy is. He's the most disgusting, Zionist, depraved, genocidal pig in the world. He also happens to be like 7,000 pounds. Well, anyway, listen to what he said.
These ICE agents, the left believes they can do anything they want, and we're just supposed to sit down and take it.
The irony of that statement in this moment. The irony of that statement as the ICE Gestapo thugs do whatever they want and commit murder and are fucking getting away with it. And this is this guy's reaction.
It's time for Americans to say enough. And if you get in the way of the government repelling a foreign invasion, you're going to end up just like that lady did yesterday.
So here you have a Republican MAGA congressman saying
trying to disguise their faces. And in some localities, they have said that this is no longer allowed. What do you think of that and how it feels like this isn't right?
Yeah, so we saw that even at yesterday's incident.
And
they shouldn't be covering their face. My God, I don't have enough words. Actually watch the video and say, Nicole Goodnight coming. They might say that.
Seen numerous times. And in fact, we had an incident in Texas where a DOJ member was in fact getting the identities and getting them out there and letting people know. So yeah, the activist groups want to get to these ICE.
Fox News host calls masked Minneapolis protesters cowardly. Co-host says ICE agents are also masked, but quote, that's for a different reason. They don't want to get doxxed. So the representatives of the state, it's okay that they're covering their face, even though we pay them and we're their boss. But innocent citizens who can be harassed and attacked, they shouldn't be covering their face. Oh my God, I don't have enough words to describe how much I hate these people.
Look how many people are wearing masks
Yeah.
at this protest. And it's not just because it's cold. They're wearing all sorts of masks. They're trying to disguise their faces. And in some localities, they have said that this is no longer allowed. What do you think of that and how it feels?
Telling you the radicalization that's happening is absolutely predictable. And we've been telling you all along this was going to happen. How about this one? Quote, fuck you, evil. Where's the fucking humanity? Why don't you back the fuck up off our people? Stop fucking killing us. You guys are evil motherfuckers. You should be marching with us. Minneapolis ICE protester screams at ICE agents as they point guns at her. All right, watch.
I didn't touch you! I didn't touch you! You guys are evil ass motherfuckers! Evil! Where's the fucking humanity? You want another Millie white lady to fucking shoot your face? Why you didn't touch you! Get the fuck up off our people! Stop killing us! Stop fucking killing us! How about that? Fuck! No one is doing shit. Don't let these motherfuckers lie. Nobody has touched you. Right. No one has. You guys are evil motherfuckers. You're causing this. You're with us.
Yesterday. Yeah, look at how they treat one versus the other here. It says everything.
There's
more space over there. I'd like to be over there, please. There's more space over there. I'd like to. Don't fucking shoot them. Hey, I'm an old man.
America stands with us. America stands with us. Hey, why is this bitch standing in the street? Why don't you tell him to get off the fucking street? That's what I'm saying. Is it just us? Why does he get to stand on the street? This is how black people are. Yeah. Oh, this is how black people are. These These are American patriots. Get out of here.
Everybody back up.
Don't hurt anybody.
Back up.
Don't hurt anybody. Don't be a problem. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. See this, guys? We will not back down. We will not surrender. These people will not continue to intimidate us in our country. The storm is here. When we come, one, we go all. No one can stop what is coming. What do you stand for? You're an immigrant too. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, that's for you guys. This is Concord, man. This is Concord, man, buddy. Hey, we executed one of you yesterday. We executed one of you yesterday.
Right-wing America is waging a war on left-wing America. That's what this is. That's what this is. All right, how about this one? Let's hear the little fucking bootlickers out there try to justify how this somehow counts as self-defense, and these are professional law enforcement officials. Watch what happens here. Pepper sprayed for walking on a sidewalk and recording. Pepper sprayed for that. Now, of course, has Donald Trump, which you don't even need to say anything about how fucking unfit for this shit he is, right? He's pouring fuel on the fire immediately. But we also have J.D. Vance. So Jim Stewartson says, at least twice in the last 24 hours, J.D. Vance said that ICE is going door to door to hunt down illegal aliens. This is plainly unconstitutional and precisely what the founders were most afraid of. The federal government is lawless. It has no authority, only violence. So this is directly against the Fourth Amendment, and here's what he said. Watch.
I think we're going to see those deportation numbers ramp up as we get more and more people online, working for ICE, going door to door and making sure that if you're an illegal alien, you've got to get out of this country. And if you want to come back, apply through the proper channel.
ICE operation on Wednesday.
Well, first of all, it was a legitimate law enforcement operation. We were going door to door to try to find.
God, he's so much fucking eyeliner, bro. So much eyeliner, dog. What the fuck?
And criminal illegal aliens and deport them from the United States of America, because if you come to our country illegally in violation of our immigration laws, then we have the mandate. And in fact, we have the legal duty to enforce those immigration laws.
Totally unconstitutional, doesn't care. But it gets worse. Listen to all this vile shit he's saying. He did a press conference the other day, again, to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Thanks for taking my question. So the head of Minnesota's investigations agency says that the U.S. Attorney's Office has essentially cut off the state investigations agency's access to the investigation. What is the precedent for that, and why shouldn't the Minnesota officials on the ground have access and evidence to work on this investigation?
First of all, I wish the state officials in Minnesota would investigate why you have so many people who are using their vehicles and other
Notice not answering the question at all.
Means to actually interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation.
And smearing Renee Good and pretending like she was trying to run over an agent when we already know that's not true.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
He literally just said they have, quote, absolute immunity.
In our hearts are with our community as we hope for healing and unity during this challenging time. Please join us in our moment of silence.
Into what appears to be a Target, and they're rounding up innocent people who work there. And even when they're told, hey, I'm an American citizen, they don't give a fuck. Watch.
You guys are all on video.
No, take my phone. Hey, you got my phone. Where's the...
They do it on target. They do it on target.
Hey, go. Stand up. What's your name? Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
No warrant. It's a U.S. citizen. We're dealing with a U.S. citizen here. By the way, the sister came out and said, we have no idea where he is or what he was arrested for. This is what we're looking at here.
Why are you kidnapping our citizen? Why are you? Why? Where's your phone number? At least let him give us information about his family. At least he's supposed to
Oh, you're crazy.
What's your name? What's your name?
Christian.
What's your name? Christian. Where the fuck is the paperwork? How is this okay?
That's Bavino. That guy's the head of ICE or C. BP.
Why are you guys not answering fucking questions?
Yeah, record that shit. Record that shit.
Insane.
That was Kyle Kalinske. I'm doing all this talking. I was on mute. God damn it. Kyle Kalinske. All of these two boys who are 17 years old in that target, 17-year-olds. No warrant. If they are on a targeted action, as they say, that means they have the name of the person that they're going at, and the warrants are signed by a judicial judge, not an ICE official. Now, there was one lady who ran into someone's home. She was doing DoorDash, and ICE ran up on them and pulled her husband out of the car, and while she was at the people's door, she just dashed into their house, trying to get away from ICE. And they were all upset, didn't know what to do. And the wife was Native American. They had a child in, and then ICE came to their door demanding that they open the door with guns. And she was like, she was talking to someone on the phone, and she was like, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. They say they're going to arrest me if I don't open the door, and all of this. And she was asking for a warrant. They showed a warrant. It was one of these fake warrants that they had at ICE agents sign. So the fact of the matter is, if they are coming to your house, they have no rights to break down doors, which they are doing now, going door to door, breaking down doors. And the woman, she was about to give the girl to ICE, and she said, no, I need to see a warrant. And then they didn't show the fake warrant anymore. And she said, if you don't have a warrant signed by a judge, get the fuck off my property. And what did they do? They got the fuck off her property. So I'm just giving you the information. Let's check out. This is what something else I wanted to share you. All of this is ICE in action. He's gonna marry Charlie Kirk's ex-wife and deport. He's gonna deport Usha. If he is so innocent, he will be released unless he's a conservative. If he is so innocent, if he is so innocent, if there's no reasonable suspicion, the reasonable suspicion is that he was at work. Where was the reasonable suspicion? Where was the reasonable suspicion? He was innocent. He was released around the corner with a black eye. Oh, so what do you have to say about him being a United States citizen who without any reasonable suspicion, was accosted, taken to the ground in a rough way, and obviously roughed up even further until he had a black eye, only to be released around the corner. Surely, if you are taking someone into custody, you just don't let them go around the corner. You have to take them into your station and fill out the proper police papers, bitch. Are you silly? See, this is why everybody want to rationalize it. You want to rationalize it when it's happening to undocumented people, and now you dumb motherfuckers are rationalizing this bullshit when it's happening to United States citizens. But that United States citizen, his last name was Garcia. But what about Christian? Christian didn't have a Hispanic accent. His name was Christian. It wasn't Raul. It wasn't anything. Pedro. What about Christian? See, you don't realize it until it's happening to you. You are the people that have rationalized this type of treatment of people who are not like you, and now you are still rationalizing it when it is you. You dummies. Let me share this with you. This is also going to be in the description box under ICE in action.
Look what you're doing to a combat veteran for practicing his First Amendment right to protest. You're on the wrong side of fucking history.
You can help build the only independent news outlet always on the ground with the people for as low as 16 cents a day.
Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you go straight to the people.
Flint, Michigan.
Brooklyn, New York.
Government sending one more you to the residents of Chicago.
We need as many independent voices as possible, and that's why what you guys do is so fucking.
He's amongst the crowd wearing his very interesting attire. We're moving in. We're back. They formed a line across the street, are trying to push people back on the sidewalks. Nope. Yeah. Arresting someone on the ground here. Some pepper pellets were fired, I believe. See federal officers from the Bureau of Prisons with a
treason. This is treason.
Okay, this is what I want you to see right here. You saw what happened to the people who were standing in the street. Now, how is it that this person with this megaphone, this is the second time he has been out here with ICE. You see the ICE guy just tapped him on the back, like, go ahead on out there, boy. Go ahead on out there, boy. Let's see that again.
This is treason. This is treason. This is treason. The Constitution has guidelines for how good the police need to be in law.
See federal officers from the Bureau of Prisons with pepper spray canisters here. The guy with the American flag walking across the line, he's a right-wing agitator who's trying really hard to become an important person on the scene. And once again moving, pushing people back.
We're on the sidewalk.
And I point out again that
you notice that everyone's pushed out of the street except for the one with the bullhorn, and there's another one with an American flag, look like he has on a motorcycle helmet, a ski mask over the helmet, and a hood. Do you notice that they are not pushed out of the streets?
the right-wing agitators that are here are allowed to stand in the streets, marching back and forth across the federal officer line. and they haven't been arrested or pulled away. But anytime that there is a anti-ICE protester here, a community member, they get attacked. We have munitions fired, flashbangs based on the sound. Whoa, they're rushing us.
Now, you see this. This person is walking backward with ICE, in front of ICE. Are they pushing him out of the street? No, they're allowing him to do whatever it is he wants to do. Do you see them doing anything to this man? And watch him start walking in unison with ICE.
Shame! 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 Shame on you, you little Nazi bitch!
But I thought you wanted to be up in the crowd's faces. Why are you walking backward as ICE walks backwards? I guess you realize you're not that bad after all. So I just want you to see the buffoonery on display, and that your tax dollar is paying for all of this.
You ain't a patriot. I'm a combat veteran. You never did nothing for this country, you little Nazi bitch. They get KK.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Yeah, I am.
Do you mind if we talk to you for a second? If you're okay.
Oh, this is terrible. This is unbelievable. This is the USA. It's not freaking third world country.
Are you here from Minneapolis, the Minnesota area?
Yes, I'm Minnesota born, raised.
I can hear it now.
Oh, you betcha.
I love that accent. No, it's usually a nice person. So
Enunciate our words. That's what we do. Yeah. No,
So-
this is too bad. This is not Minnesota.
is this your first time getting gas?
In many, many years.
What was the last time you did?
Oh, down in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. They were clearing it out. It was time curfew.
What brought you, what inspired you to come out here?
Well, I just couldn't sit home. I've been in marches and stuff, and I had to do something. It's so, what can you do other than wait till we vote again? But this is just crazy. I don't believe it. They have all these men for what? A few people that are against people doing wrong things. That's all. No, this is too bad. This is shameful. And a lot of them are young kids that don't even know the difference. They're going to regret it someday. That's all I know.
Hey, ICE, take me to your dear leader.
Okay, I think that's I think he may have to say something. It's hard for me to remember.
I was on this side of the street, and starting into this like parking lot entry, and I can't remember what I was doing, and I got hit from behind. I didn't even think they were like a problem because I was facing away from them, walking into this area, and then I just got hit and went to the ground. And yeah, I don't even know why they tackled me.
Yeah, so you're a photographer. Where's your camera? Do you know? Or
Well, I kind of panicked and tossed it away from me because I thought if they're going to haul me in there, I might not get it back. So I tossed it, and someone grabbed that and my phone, and I was looking all over here for it, and I couldn't find it. But my wife is in Florida. I had a friend here call my wife, and she was tracking my phone. It's going down Lake Street, and apparently another photographer has it, and he's saving it for me. So
oh, that's good. Okay, I was worried that it got into the system there. Yeah,
I was actually more bummed about that than the pepper spray in the eyeball. Like,
you definitely even dressing people. There's no use of the LRAD cannon. No movement. Yeah.
How's the health insurance plan going for the people in the United States? Is the health insurance plan going well? Do we have money for health insurance in the United States yet? Are people still going to be kicked off of their health insurance? Now, this is the now. This is the person who came with the anti-ICE protesters who had bacon and all of this in the Quran. And this is him getting lost in the parking garage using his American flag to punch on people. And then they get in the car and they run over someone and keep going.
I don't know, but whatever. Following one of the right-wing agitators that showed up in Minneapolis to support ICE, supposedly. They just ran into somebody as they drove away.
You can help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people for as low as
This is in my description box under Lang. So let's get into the morning of this.
Last night.
This is Lang. He was pardoned January 6er who was riding at January 6th, got convicted, and now he's running for Marco Rubio's Senate seat. Let's see how all of this went down. They put it in different little clips. It's not the whole video. If you want to see the whole video, go over to Status Quo.
Last night I was assaulted by Somalian immigrants. Do you see me? Last night I was assaulted by Somalian immigrants. These people are violent. They do not share our culture. They do not
Last night I was assaulted by Somali immigrants. These people are violent. They do not share our culture.
our values. These people want to steal your future. Your children's future is at stake, Minnesota. So the Democrats, the Marxists, the communists have been raping our country.
You see his little infidel vest? Do you see his little infidel vest? What happened to his little infidel vest later on that afternoon? Where is the infidel vest? There's the infidel vest being thrown up in the air. There is the infidel vest once again, where his cell phone and a couple other things were taken out of this infidel vest. It didn't work out like he planned it, obviously. Obviously, the protection that he was guaranteed didn't go through as well as planned.
Raping our country for generations. White Christian men, you must stand now.
Right, white Christian men. Who are these Christian men that he's talking about? Who are these white Christian men? The racism is on full display, and let me tell you, this is why you need to pay attention what is going on, because outside of all the crazy shit that they want to show you to make it seem like, oh well, you know, it's what did 4547 say? It's paid agitators that are going in, left-wing paid agitators that are going in. Now, this is someone he's pardoned for already doing the same shit on January 6th, where he felt no need to call in the National Guard as they defecated, urinated, and beat police officers on the Capitol. He was pardoned. So here he is again. But your government wants you. Oh, how many times have you heard them say that these are paid agitators? Is he talking about this guy? America was built by slaves. I'm really sick of this bullshit as well. America was not built by immigrants. America was built by Black Americans. That's who built America. Period.
We're going up into a parking garage. Oh.
Get up, no cameras in here. No cameras.
Okay, so this is when the one got singled out, lost his way. He's looking for the car. Looking for the master plan. Got nothing but the flag inside my hand, so I tried to hit them over the head. Now my own neck is bleeding and said, looking for the master plan. Doom, 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 doom.
No cameras.
I don't quite know who's who in that scuffle that just happened over a flag.
Let's move on. Okay. Now, why are you out here? Let's see why he is out here. Let's see why he is out here with his American flag and gotten his mixed up and separated from the rest white nationalists that he came with. Now, he's asked by the interviewer of Status Quo, why are you out here? Let's hear why.
Who are you? What brought you out here?
I just came to support ICE and the people of Minnesota.
You support ISIS raids?
I think they're doing the right thing. Maybe they're doing wrong. I don't know, but whatever. Are we clear?
Who are you? What brought you out here?
I just came to support ICE and the people of Minnesota.
You support ISIS raids on people and kidnapping them out in the street?
I just think that they're doing the right thing. Maybe they're doing it wrong. I don't know, but whatever.
Is this a superior white race that the convicted rioter, a January 6th rioter, is this the superior race that he's talking about when he is beckoning all white Christians? Okay, so let's get to he goes up here and he gets lost and he has to go back downstairs where he runs into his buddies who are also trying
Clearly
to
looked into it before he came here.
He's back downstairs and he's looking for his other buddies because he's lost. This superior white Christian is lost.
Oh, right there. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with you.
Now his friends said, come on, let's get out of here. His friends were the ones who grabbed him and brought him the other way because they've been scurrying around hiding like rats.
You go, boy. Still seem to not know where the heck we're going.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Okay. Okay, they found their car, and you hear somebody leave him alone. Now, if somebody really wanted to have hurt him and anybody he was with, surely it would have happened. Let's continue. Okay. There are your white Christians. Any questions? Any questions? I don't see any questions. Um, Let me see. Fred Wright, you didn't think so about what? You didn't think that I was behind the scenes, uh, operating my videos. Who is paying you to think on my channel, Fred Wright? You sit on my channel and you comment on what I'm talking about, or you can leave. No one's holding you here, Fred Wright. I don't care what you think. No one's paying you to do any thinking over here. Get in where you fit in, or you can leave. Okay, let's continue. Can we continue? Nothing to say about the content, Fred? When you have something to say about the content, hey, maybe we could talk about it. I don't know. But anything else you're talking about, not interested, unimpressed, unaffected. Now, let me get into what I really also want to get into. On this today, I had a couple of more things. Oh, I shared that. Uh, let's talk about the right wing racism. It's the new white meat. The right wing racism. Can we talk about that? Okay. Hmm. Let's talk about that. Let's hear it from their own mouths. I'm not going to say anything. I am going to let them speak for themselves. 45, 47's little plumpy dumpy vice president said that white people no longer have to be ashamed of being white. So let's see what else they're saying.
I hope Trump goes in and just cleans out this entire Somali.
Okay. Here we go.
Constituency and ships them back to the third world dump they came from. The Democrats have a little bit of. I hope Trump goes in and just cleans out this entire Somali constituency and ships them back to the third world dump they came from. The Democrats have a little bit of a Somali problem. They've let it
America
go.
has a bit of a Somali problem.
Somalia is a rape culture. Africa, the African continent is a rape culture. They rape people there a lot. In the Middle East,
Somalia has a rape culture. Africa has a rape culture. Says people who are hiding the Epstein files. And you have nothing to say about little white American girls having this done to them. Let's be clear. These are people who are mum on the Epstein files. And are you surprised that this weekend that 45, 47 put in a motion that says that no judges have the right to tell them that they must release the Epstein files since the Democrats have said that the law that has been put in to release the Epstein files has not been followed, and they were supposed to have all of over a month ago, and over 2 weeks ago, they were supposed to explain all the redactions, all the redactions where they redact the name of not the victims, the suspects in the Epstein file. As Marjorie Taylor Greene said, that this is going to, Trump told her, this is going to hurt a lot of my friends. That Epstein file. Massey and Rokan went back to the judge, and they told the judge to put a special magistrate over these Epstein files to make sure that they get these files. And did you know that your Department of Justice went to the judge and said that no judge has the right to say anything about them releasing these files, to try to present a magistrate, a special, what is it? A special magistrate from having say of these files must be presented, because you do understand that this is a law that they must be presented. You do understand that 4547 signed this law himself. And trying to make you believe that he has no problem with these files getting out. But Africa has a rape culture. But you have these people telling you, well, what if Africa has a rape culture? How does that affect America and how Americans live their lives? First is Somalians. Now it's all of Africa. Is it all of Africa? But isn't it the American culture that is going over to Africa, trying to rape them of all of their rare earth minerals? It seems like America is the one who has that culture. Y'all didn't know about this. Y'all didn't hear all of this racism, this blatant racism. Happy Dr. King's holiday to you all. Let's get back into this.
In the subcontinent. It's in the subcontinent. Africa. The African continent is a rape culture. They rape people there a lot. In the Middle East, in the subcontinent, that's what they do. And so we don't like.
So in this continent, in the United States, how often are white men raping people? White men in the United States are raping people far more frequently than any other race in the United States. But you ain't got nothing to say about that. Oh, okay, let's continue.
That, right?
Look at how we got Trump to cave in such a short amount of time. And look at how beautifully he delivered. Look at how beautifully he understood the assignment completely. He comes out and says, all these brown people do is bitch in their hijabs, and they're ungrateful, and they stink, and we don't want them here. I mean, it couldn't be better if you dreamed it up.
Conservative politicians and media figures are launching some pretty racist attacks against Somali immigrants, Somalis in general. I mean, they might not even be immigrants. They might be American citizens with Somali heritage. But just very briefly, I would like to address what we just heard about Somalis having a rape culture. How about our federal government covering up the Epstein files and the rape of minors? How about the fact that that was very likely a blackmail operation carried out by Mossad, which of course is Israeli intelligence? You want to talk about Israeli rape culture? I'd love to talk about Israeli rape culture. How about all the American Jews who flee to Israel to avoid charges of rape and pedophilia? Anyway, not to make this.
Yes, we will. We are going to try to ignore that. We are going to ignore the protections that people who are accused of having inappropriate physical relationship with children who are of Israeli descent run back to Israel and are protected. Let's think about the event in Las Vegas, where there was someone high up in government who was trying to hook up with a 15-year-old, and the AG of Las Vegas alerted his bosses, and miraculously he was able to fly back to Israel with these charges hanging over his head. Let's not forget all of the other stories that I have told you about. But He's talking about Africa. He's talking, isn't Israel our great ally? Um, the buffoonery. People can tell you something about black people, and you will take it at face value while you ignore what is exactly in your face, while you ignore your own crime statistics, trying to paint yourselves in corners like you are so grand and godlike, when the facts are you are some of the most deviant people in the United States. Let's continue.
About Israel. But if you want to talk about rape culture, rape's been in the news quite a bit lately. We can talk about rape culture.
And
it's
don't
disgusting.
Don't forget the cybersecurity official that came here to rape underage American girls,
Yep.
and then we let him go because beloved Israel has their rape culture, and we can't criticize it. Israeli IDF soldiers raped Palestinians in prison. It's on video. It's clear. So look, guys. We're saying if you're going to say that, we can point out the hypocrisy here. The reality is, of course, no country or continent has a rape culture overall. What winds up happening is either isolated incidents or a system that is too permissive and dehumanizes others, as Israel has done to the Palestinians. But no one is collectively guilty. That's insane.
So Michael Knowles was the one who made the comment about the rape culture because, of course, he's a host at the Daily Wire, and their bread and butter is to divide Americans to the best of their abilities, constantly focusing on identity, who's dangerous, who you should hate. I mean, if Daily Wire didn't focus on that, what would their content be? They're disgusting. Anyway, let's watch more of what JD Vance had to say during an interview because he made a pretty ridiculous claim about how Somali immigrants are to blame for all of your problems.
What's going on in Minneapolis, I think, is actually representative of a broader fraud scheme that we're going to see all over the country. We're going to see it in California. We're going to see it in other places too, where people get rich from the American taxpayer. The Somalian fraud, for example, daycare fraud. You've got Americans, we've got programs set up to make it easier for Americans to get their kids in daycare so they can have proper childcare. You take that money and you siphon it off to Somalian fraudsters. That's a double theft. Number one.
Hold on. Where's the double theft? If they are actually giving these children child care, where's the double theft? That what he just said made no sense, and he's trying to let you believe that because the United States have avenues to help you easily get your child into child care, and if they siphon the money off and send it to another country, like most immigrants in the United States do, like those immigrants who work for Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, those Indian immigrants send their money back to their home nation. So now that's a double theft. But where's the first theft if they are actually giving childcare? We are clear on the whole reason why this fraud is a big thing. The main person of the fraud was a white woman, but they want you to believe that it was a Somalian. So they will have you to believe that this is a Somalian crime. When they totally ignore the white woman, when they totally ignore that these people have been investigated and have been tried on these crimes long before this stupid YouTuber came into Somalia, knocking on buildings, demanding to see children. Who's going to let a young white man just come to their nursery and demand to see children? When we know the pathology of such young white men. Who's going to just let somebody bang on their door and demand to see children? And while your government is ignoring that all the places that Shirley guy went to had already been investigated and had been cleared of no wrongdoing. But they're not saying that. But now all of a sudden, this is what is happening in Minnesota. And I would be remiss if you try to play dumb and act like you don't remember why the National Guards were put in the streets of D.C. Why were they put in the streets of D.C.? Because conveniently, big balls of Doge got punched in the nose by a 14-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl, I believe their ages were. And that is what put the National Guards in Washington, D.C. the very next day. All of this war on crime because big balls, the same big balls who was taking computers and stacks of computers into all of the federal agency, seeping off all of your personal data to make billionaires richer. Let's get to the real story. While y'all want to ignore all the real facts, all of this, all of the reasons behind all of this shit. This Nick Shirley guy has been debunked 50,000 times over. But you guys are sitting up here cheering on your constitutional rights being taken away from you. See, you think they're just taking them away from others. They have you convinced that, it's these people are our problems, and yeah, ICE is right for doing it. And if you're an American, you're gonna be released soon, and all of this dumb shit behind absolutely propped up fake bullshit. Oh, y'all forgot about that. I haven't forgotten about any of it. Let's get to why we're here. That link is in my description as well. I think we really need to get to why we're here.
All right, I hope you're ready to be scared shitless because that's what's about to happen, y'all. That's what's about to happen. So somebody on Twitter said, commies aren't allowed in this hemisphere, and every one of them should be blown up along with their gravesite. Trump kidnapping Maduro and blowing up the gravesite of Hugo Chavez, which is trying to destroy their national history over there. So this is a classic far-right fascist type thing to say. All right, we're ready? This gets darker as we go here. So then when we have Joe Lonsdale replies, exactly. What did you think founding Palantir was supposed to be about? Okay. Now, what's creepy about this? As Joe Ravano Barros points out, Palantir was created to kill communists. Its co-founder says. Joe Lonsdale is not some nobody. He's one of the co-founders of Palantir. Saying,
what did you think founding Palantir was supposed to be about? It was Palantir was created to kill communists. Its co-founder says. So let's move along. That link is in my description box about what it's really about. Let's move on. Let me move on.
If you look at what Donald Trump ran on, what he ran on to his base was ending endless wars, not intervening in other countries' affairs, focusing on America first, and not being the world police. Yet here we are, more than ever. We've ramped that up to 11. And I don't think Donald Trump's pulling the strings. I think he is under full control of what Israel wants the United States to do.
Look at what's happening every day. I've been there. I have trained with them. I have been to Israel where ICE agents and DEA agents and other three-letter agencies train with the Israelis, with the gendarmerie and the Israeli police force, training with them. And they bring those tactics back here. The oppression that we export, we bring it right back here. Look around. We are the ones suffering. Children in Gaza are suffering. Fathers, mothers, families are suffering. Every day on TV, we see a Palestinian father carrying their dead child. And little Marco and Ambassador Huckabee and our president make jokes and celebrate. A ceasefire? What a joke. The ceasefire wasn't even in effect for 30 seconds before Israel dropped another bomb. And what did they say? We can get away with it. Wake up, people. Every day we pay Israel our tax dollars so they can continue to bomb and kill unarmed civilians. We bomb boats off the coast of Venezuela. We blow up Colombians in fishing boats and say, oops. If you don't think that won't come to your neighborhood, think again. I have seen it. It is coming.
It's here.
ICE agents train in Israel, and they bring that back here, and they bring the same tactics. You don't have to read the secret files to see what's happening on our streets every day. For all you that serve your country, all of us that have served our country, for those of you out here in uniform serving your country, if you're a YouTube influencer, Israel will pay you $7,000 per post. You know who they pay that with? Our tax dollars. Our government makes us stupid, and we should not put up with it.
We played this video of you where you really kind of made all these connections between so many of the forces of evil, so many of the kind of three-letter agencies, as you called them. You made this is from a speech that you gave in October, but what's fascinating is that, you know, it sounds exactly like something that applies to the shooting, the fatal shooting we just saw of Renee Good.
That was in front of the U.S. State Department headquarters in Washington, D.C. And the premise of that was protesting that at the time, you know, we were in the middle of a shutdown, and how our State Department and our departments within the executive branch are spending our hard-earned tax dollars as we struggle to make ends meet. We give billions to other governments. Case in point being with the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. And when I was in Israel with the GHF, we went to one of the training bases, the National Urban Training Center, or the NUTC in Israel, which they call Little Gaza. And at this training center, on the gate out front, like if you were to go to a military base and it has the units that train there, you know, it has the ID emblem, it has the DEA, US DEA, US DHS, and ICE. It's a training center. And it's interesting to me that not only do we have periodic training with Israel, it's a firm set thing. So soon after I returned, and I saw very, very similar tactics to what ICE agents were employing on the streets of our country, and what I saw in Gaza with members of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation security forces, which were trained and instructed by the IDF, the comparisons were just frightening. I mean, just too many similarities to be coincidence in the tactics employed, how the tactics are employed, the masking of faces, the refusal to provide medical aid to those in need, as we saw with Renee Good. So I started to look into this in September, and sure enough, it didn't take me long. I just Googled Department of Homeland Security strategy. You know, I encourage all of your guests to go just pull it up and look. It's not that long of a document, and in there you'll see the Department of Homeland Security outlines at the cost of $169 billion. That's right, billion. The continuation of growing ICE to 10,000 field agents, which would make it the largest federal fielded agency in the country, but additional continued funding to the binational Industrial Research and Development Program. It's outlined in the DHS strategy. This specifically grants money to Israel to host and train three-letter agencies within the Department of Homeland Security: Border Patrol, ICE, DHS staff, training them in Palantir and data collection, not against a foreign enemy, not against a foreign threat, against us, US citizens. There's no doubt in what it's used against and what it's used for. Those statements that I made in October were not simply darts being thrown at a dartboard or wild, what I call wags, wild ass guesses. I've read it. I've seen it. The information is there. When you take Donald Trump's national security strategy, which he penned and signed on the 5th of December, 2025, another great document that, it's not very long at all. It's written in Trump style. It's only about 8 pages, very simple language. I'm sure the original draft was in crayon and then they had someone print it, but it lays it out very clear that the United States seeks dominance in the Western Hemisphere, not cooperation, not good neighbor policies and being diplomatic partners in the world stage. Dominance. It clearly outlines it in there. So when you look at how our agencies, ICE and the domestic front, train and the tactics that we're seeing employed around the world, I don't think that Donald Trump is necessarily pulling the strings anymore. The connections to me are too strong. Milikowski comes to visit Mar-a-Lago right before the New Year, stays through New Year's Eve, and on the 3rd, we're invading Venezuela.
Can you explain who Milikowski is for people who don't know?
Apologies. So, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the name Netanyahu, given this, more of a Jewish ancestry sounding name or a Semite sounding name, his name is Milikowski. His family's from Poland. He grew up in New Jersey. His first job that he had out of college was with the Boston Consulting Group. You've heard that before. That's the group that drafted the plans in 2021 for what we're now seeing in Gaza with the $112 billion Project Sunrise that Jared Kushner, his son-in-law,
that the United States has said that they will pay 10%. Project Sunrise is to build a techno city for the rich in Gaza. Let's move on. Since you guys don't know why you're here, let me tell you why you are here. Let me tell you, connect all of this carnage. I think this is it. Yes, this is it. Let's go here. The Future of Freedom Foundation. Let me drop this link in the description box. All of these videos are under the heading of the real game. This is the real game of all of this that you are championing, that you are cheerleading, that you are supporting your own demise. Let me increase the size of this real quick. 4547's Palantir-powered surveillance is turning America into a digital prison. If you are unaware, the link will be in my description box under the real game. We are fast approaching the stage of the ultimate inversion, the stage where the government is free to do anything it pleases while the citizens may act only by permission, says Ayn Rand. That's from, what is that stupid book by her? Call it what it is. Panopic presidency. President Trump's plans to fuse government powers with private surveillance, centralized national citizen database is the final step in transforming America from a constitutional republic into a digital dictatorship aimed with algorithm and powered by unaccountable, all-seeing artificial intelligence. Why do you think that he won't allow any states to put any restrictions on AI? This is why. This isn't about national security. It's about control. According to news report, the Trump administration is quietly collaborating with Palantir Technologies, the data mining Bethamouth company founded by billionaire Peter Thiel to construct a centralized government-wide surveillance system that will consolidate biometric, behavioral, uh, ge- geolocation data into a single weaponized database of Americans' private information. And you thought that the National Guards was on put on DC streets because Big Balls got a bloody nose by a 14-year-old? How silly of you. This isn't about protecting freedom. It's about rendering freedom obsolete. What we're witnessing is the transformation of America into a digital prison, one where the inmates are told, "Oh, we are free," while every move, every word, every thought is monitored, recorded, and used to assign a threat score. Now, didn't you hear me tell you about the threat scores that were given to Palestinian people, where in which Palestine sent their drones in to take the lives of these people whose threat scores were too high? Yes, you did hear me talk about that. That's what was done, exactly what was done in Israel with the help of Palantir helping the Israelis fight in Gaza. Okay. What we're, okay, um, to assign a threat score that determines our place in the new hierarchy of obedience. This puts one of the more step downs in the road to China's dystopian system of social credit scores. I've talked to you about the social credit scores in China that they use it. This puts us one more step down the road to China's dystopian system of social credit scores of the Big Brother surveillance. The tools enabling this all-seeing surveillance regime are not new, but under Trump's direction, they are being fused together in unpredicted ways. With Palantir the center of the digital dragnet. Palantir, long criticized for its role in powering ICE, custom enforcement raids, and predictive policy, is now poised to become the brain of Trump's surveillance regime. Under the guise of data integration and public safety, this public-private partnership. Hold on one second. I'm back. Okay. Where would I? Under the guise of data integration and public safety, the public-private partnership would deploy AI-enhanced systems to comb through everything from facial recognition feeds and license plate readers to social media posts and cell phone metadata, cross-referencing it all to assess a person's risk to the state. They're going to give you a number about your risk. Palantir software has already been used to assist ICE in locating, arresting, and deporting undocumented immigrants, often relying on vast surveillance data sets aggregated from multiple sources. In New Orleans, the company secretly partnered with a local police to run a predictive policing program without public knowledge or the oversight, targeting individuals flagged as likely to commit crimes. So this is a Palantir based on all the data they're collecting on you. The police will be looking at you because Palantir tells them that you are likely to commit crimes based upon social networks and past behaviors, not actual wrongdoings. This isn't speculative. It's already happening. Palantir Gotham program used by law enforcement and military agency has long been the backbone of real-time tracking and predictive analysis. now with Trump backing it, threatens to become the central nervous system of a digitally enforced auto auto authoritarianism. As Palantir itself admits, its mission is to augment human decision making. So Palantir is going to augment your human decision making. Isn't that isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Is America great again yet? In practice, it means replacing probable cause with probability scores, courtrooms with code, and due process with data pipelines. So your the facts will not the facts will not be a part of your due process. The facts of whatever you did or did not do will not be probable cause. What Palantir says will be a probable cause based upon your past behaviors. Is America great again yet? When has America been this great? Oh, you guys don't know it, but black people have always known this. So let's continue. In this new regime, your innocent will be irrelevant. The algorithm will decide who you are. To understand the full danger of this movement, we must trace the long arc of government surveillance from secret intelligence programs like Conto, Coin, Telpro to today's AI-driven digital dragnet embodied by data fusion centers. Why do you think that there are so many data centers popping up in the United States that you are paying for? These billionaires who are getting rich off of harvesting your that you're paying for in your electric and water bill. So y'all think that it's about the immigrants. That's the funny part. You think it's not about you. Okay. The threat posed by today's surveillance state did not emerge. The groundwork was laid decades ago through covert government programs such as COUNTERPRO, Counterintelligence Program, launched by the FBI's in the 1950s and continuing through the 70s. Its explicit mission was to disrupt, misdirect, neutralize political dissidents. You know what 4547 says about people who are out in the street protesting about any of his agendas and any of the things that he's doing in the street? You know, that type of stuff, including civil rights leaders, Vietnam War protesters, and Black liberation groups. Well, of course. What would a CIA or government counterintelligence be if it did not apply on Black liberation groups? You know, the people that you guys says is the reason for all of your problems and everything that is wrong in society. While you ignore 4547 not putting these Epstein files out and doing everything he can to not, you don't pay any attention to that. Okay. Under COUNTERPRO, federal agents infiltrated a lawful organization. What kind of organization? Lawful organization, and spread misinformation, blackmailed targets, and conducted warrantless surveillance. You know, like the warrantless wiretaps that George W. Bush put on every American phone, and you know they can tell some of you people anything if they tell you if it's about your security. But if they tell you it's about national security, though exposed and publicly condemned by Congress, the spirit of Cointy Pro never died. It merely went underground and digital. Okay. With Palantir and similar firms at the helm, the government can now watch more people more closely, more arbitrarily reasons than ever before. The dissent once again being criminalized. So let's be clear. You think that these ICE agents hold the phone up to these protesters' face. People who are driving by in cars, and they take their cameras out and taking pictures of people's faces. Do you think that they're trying to match them to see if they're undocumented? No, they're putting you in a database of protesters, of dissenters. That Palantir will then give you a score. Well, you were here. You were you were practicing your First Amendment rights. You did nothing illegal, but you were here, and that's a bad, bad thing. Okay, building. Let me see where. Let me see. With Palantir and similar firms at the helm, the government can now watch more people more closely for arbitrary reason than before. Dissent is once again being criminalized. Free expression is being categorized as extremism. If you don't believe that, once again, I direct you to the NSPM 7. Dissent is now being criminalized, and citizens without ever committing a crime can be flagged, tracked, and punished by an invisible digital bureaucracy that operates with impunity. You can read the rest of this article because it seems like a lot of you guys don't know, but I am quite aware. Let's move forward. If you let's talk about Project Lavender. If you don't believe in these scores and points that they are putting on people's lives, let's look into Project Lavender.
These intelligence officers that for each low-ranking target at Lavender,
37,000 Palestinians who were targeted for assassination with little human oversight. The report is based in part on interviews with 6 Israeli intelligence officers who'd firsthand involvement with the AI system. 972 reports, quote, Lavender has played a central role in the unprecedented bombing of Palestinians, especially during the early stages of the war. In fact, according to the sources, its influence on the military's operations was such that they essentially treated the outputs of the AI machine as if it were a human decision. A second AI system, known as Where's Daddy, tracked Palestinian men on the kill list. It was purposely designed to help Israel target individuals when they were at home at night with their families. One intelligence officer told the publications, quote, we were not interested in killing operatives only when they were in a military building or engaged in military activity. On the contrary, the IDF bombed them in homes without hesitation as a first option. It's much easier to bomb a family's home. The system is built to look for them in these situations, they said. Today, we spend the hour with the Israeli investigative journalist Yuval Abraham, who broke the story for 972 and Local Call. It's headlined Lavender.
Where's Daddy? Daddy's at home with his children and family. Well, okay. Well, we know that where that is. Let's just drop a bomb on Daddy, since this is where he is, and they never go back to check if they even got Daddy. But hey, you know, if casualties of the family, hey, that's just as good. That's just as good. Let's continue.
The AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. I spoke with Yuval Abraham yesterday and began by asking him to lay out what he found.
Yeah, thank you for having me again, Amy. It is a very long piece. It's 8,000 words. And we divided it into 6 different steps. And each step represents a process in the highly automated way in which the military marks targets since October. And the first finding is Lavender. So Lavender was designed by the military. Its purpose was, when it was being designed, to mark the low-ranking operatives in the Hamas and Islamic Jihad military wings. That was the intention, because Israel estimates that there are between 30 to 40,000 Hamas operatives, and it's a very, very large number. And they understood that the only way for them to mark these people is by relying on artificial intelligence, and that was the intention. Now, what sources told me is that after October 7, the military basically made a decision that all of these tens of thousands of people are now people that could potentially be bombed inside their houses, meaning not only killing them, but everybody who was in the building, the children, the families. And they understood that in order to try to attempt to do that, they are going to have to rely on this AI machine called Lavender with very minimal human supervision. I mean, one source said that he felt he was acting as a rubber stamp on the machine's decisions. Now, what Lavender does is it scans information on probably 90% of the population of Gaza. So we're talking about, more than 1 million people. And it gives each individual a rating between 1 to 100. A rating that is an expression of the likelihood that the machine thinks, based on a list of small features, and we can get to that later, that that individual is a member of the Hamas or Islamic Jihad military wings. Sources told me that the military knew, because they took a random sampling and checked one by one, the military knew that approximately 10% of the people that the machine was marking to be killed were not Hamas militants. They were not.
The machine knew. They had this score off by at least 10%. Oh, well. Oh, that's just 10% of innocents that will all be killed by this AI deciding. Not a human deciding. AI deciding. Okay.
Some of them had a loose connection to Hamas. Others had completely no connection to Hamas. I mean, one source said how the machine would bring people who had the exact same name and nickname as a Hamas operative, or people who had similar communication profiles, like it could be civil defense workers, police officers in Gaza. And they implemented, again, minimal supervision on the machine. One source said that he spent 20 seconds per target before authorizing the bombing of the alleged low-ranking Hamas militant. Often it was also could have been a civilian, killing those people inside their houses. And I think the reliance on artificial intelligence here to mark those targets, and basically the deadly way in which the officers spoke about how they were using the machine, could very well be part of the reason why in the first 6 weeks after October 7th, like one of the main characteristics of the policies that were in place were entire Palestinian families being wiped out inside their houses. I mean, if you look at UN statistics, more than 50% of the casualties, more than 6,000 people at that time, came from a smaller group of families. It's an expression of the family unit being destroyed. And I think that machine and the way it was used led to that.
You talk about the choosing of targets, and you talk about the so-called high-value targets, Hamas commanders, and then the lower-level fighters. And as you said, many of them, in the end, it wasn't either. But explain the buildings that were targeted and the bombs that were used to target them.
Yeah, it's a good question. So what sources told me is that during those first weeks after October, for the low-ranking militants in Hamas, many of whom were marked by Lavender, so we can say alleged militants that were marked by the machine, they had a predetermined, what they call collateral damage degree. And this means that the military's international law departments told these intelligence officers that for each low-ranking target that Lavender marks, when bombing that target, they are allowed to kill, one source said the number was up to 20 civilians. Again, for any Hamas operative, regardless of rank, regardless of importance, regardless of age, one source said that there were also minors being marked. Not many of them, but he said that was a possibility, that there was no age limit. Another source said that the limit was up to 15 civilians for the low-ranking militants. The sources said that for senior commanders in Hamas, so it could be commanders of brigades or divisions or battalions, the numbers were for the first time in the IDF's history in the triple digits, according to sources. So, for example,
for example, the innocent civilians could be in the hundreds. And this is not speculative information. This is what they has they have already been using. And this is what 4547 is heavily invested in with Palantir. So for your government, for American citizens, if you read NSPM 7, you will understand why they are promoting all of this Christianity in this pagan administration. So let me share this with you.
Controversial project that the Israeli military has on. If people don't know, Project Lavender is an extremely notorious and controversial project that the Israeli military has ongoing. It's basically an AI-powered targeting system. What that means is that Palantir provides the software, reportedly, that allows the Israeli military to use AI to generate gigantic kill lists of Palestinians and to avoid what they call human bottlenecks in targeting. What that means is basically every Palestinian in Gaza has been assigned a number between 1 and 100, and it's based on how likely you are to be a target to the Israeli military. And your score goes up, for example, if you are in a WhatsApp group with a known Hamas member, or you live in the same building as a Hamas member, or, for example, you work as maybe an ambulance driver who goes to the scene of a lot of bombings and stuff. That will trigger your number to move up. And if it goes beyond a certain number, say 70, you are automatically put onto a kill list. That includes women and children as well. There was some studies that showed that Palantir had a 10% false positive rate on that. Apparently, the Israeli military really rely on this Project Lavender, and the human intervention in this is about 20 seconds just to check whether that person is indeed male, and that's all they do. And then they use AI to target these individuals with smart weapons and drone warfare, etc. If people don't know, Project Lavender is an extremely notorious and controversial project that the Israeli military...
Okay, if you are unaware of this, the link is in my description box. Well, there is one more that I wanted to share with you on that. Here we are. If you think that this is a joke, let's talk about this stuff. All of this this information. Let me see when this video came out. This video is over a year old. But you think that non-white people are your problems?
Follow the rules of war in their assault on Gaza. Israel and its defenders swear that the IDF has followed the rules of war in their assault on Gaza, that they aren't at war with civilians but laser focused on Hamas, that any civilian deaths are the fault of Hamas for operating within the civilian population, or at the very worst, regrettable mistakes, such as in the case of the 7 World Central Aid Kitchen workers who were killed in that series of 3 drone strikes. The IDF, Israel's defenders say, is the most moral army in the world. A new shocking report from Plus 972 magazine definitively disproves every single one of these claims. Of course, anyone paying attention was fully disabused of these notions long ago. The ratio of civilian to militant deaths alone is sufficient to prove that this war on humanity has been intentional. But Plus 972 once again has provided invaluable insight into the exact mechanisms of the horror. They reveal for the first time the details of how Israeli algorithmic targeting supercharged a slaughter, and critically, how the very human decisions made in this assault and desire for total revenge have fueled annihilation and genocide. Now, I urge you to read the entirety of Yuval Abraham's collaboration with Local Call for 972 magazine titled Lavender, the machine directing Israel's bombings Gaza. I'm going to summarize the most significant findings, but I believe this will be one of the defining journalistic pieces of this entire onslaught. Every detail of this report really matters. So please, if you have the time, take a look. So here are some of the top line findings of that report. First of all, Israel has developed an AI targeting system called Lavender, which has been used to generate some 37,000 targets in Gaza. Second, those human targets generated by the algorithm were imprecise, with a known error rate of about 10%. In spite of this high error rate, next to no human checking was performed before targeting individuals on the lavender list for assassination. IDF soldiers were to consider these faulty AI target lists of alleged militants to be orders. Minors were included on the list along with civil service officers. Third, the IDF authorized extraordinary levels of collateral damage. Officially, 20 civilians per junior Hamas fighter and 100 civilians for higher level commanders. In practice, though, collateral damage ratios could be even higher. The motive, according to the sources, was not to eliminate Hamas. It was pure and simple revenge. Fourth, contrary to claims about avoiding civilian casualties, Israel intentionally targeted civilians through use of a software program called Where's Daddy, which was used to target the private homes of militants when they were at home with their families and surrounded by other civilians. Little was done to make sure the alleged militant was even actually killed and not just his family members. Now, those are the top line findings, but it is well worth digging into some of the stomach-churning details here. Gaza has become a testing ground for dystopian AI-driven military tech, which is plunging all of us into a new era of horrors and unchecked barbarism. 972 had previously reported on an AI system called The Gospel, which generates infrastructure targets with a focus on so-called power targets. These are large centers of civilian life, like high-rise apartment buildings, which were destroyed in order to demoralize and terrorize the civilian population. Drone-equipped robot dogs are also increasingly wandering throughout the rubble in Gaza, thanks to new developments from the Pentagon and U.S. military contractors. And we can now add to this list of killer tech Lavender, which generates tens of thousands of human targets. And operating hand in glove with Lavender is Where's Daddy, software which targets those placed on the Lavender kill list for assassination while they're at their homes with their families. Where's Daddy? Get it? For the IDF, when Daddy's home, it means it's time to murder every man, woman, and child who happens to be in the vicinity. Now, Lavender uses the data collected through mass surveillance of every Palestinian in Gaza to analyze the likelihood that they may be Hamas, based on a list of identified attributes. Every Gazan is given a rating of 1 to 100 as to how likely they are to be a militant. The algorithm is programmed with hundreds or thousands of attributes, which are considered to be suggestive of Hamas or other militant membership. Some attributes identified in the piece include being in the wrong WhatsApp group or changing addresses too often. Now, if you are clocked with too many incriminating features as identified by Lavender, then you'll be placed on a kill list and marked for IDF assassination with next to no human verification. According to a 972 source, quote, a human being had to verify the target for just a few seconds, B said. At first, we did checks to ensure that the machine didn't get confused. But at some point, we relied on the automatic system, and we only checked that the target was a man. That was enough. Doesn't take a long time to tell if someone has a male or female voice. This assumption that all men are Hamas has been backed up in recent days by the stunning reporting of Axios reporter Barak Ravid. Now, himself a former IDF soldier, Ravid told Anderson Cooper that on the ground, soldiers were simply told to murder every man.
This incident shouldn't come as a surprise. You remember that just a few weeks ago, 3 Israeli hostages that managed to escape their captors were killed by Israeli soldiers who fired at them, even though they were holding a white flag, okay? And, I spoke to an Israeli reserve officer who was in the same unit of those soldiers who shot those hostages. And I remember him telling me that the orders are basically from the commanders on the ground is just shoot every man in fighting age. Those are the orders, but that's not the rules of engagement that is coming from the IDF leadership.
But on the ground, that's what they're being told.
The orders.
So does that sound like what happens in those votes in the Caribbean? If you think that this has absolutely nothing to do with you, have we seen the strike where they went back and killed those survivors that survived that first strike in their first boat? That they tried to say it was not a keg breath fault. Do you think that this is not happening in the United States of America? While they are calling your attention to black and brown people as if they are your problems. Your government is your problem.
Are shoot every man of fighting age. So obviously, if you're a man in Gaza, whether or not your name is spat out by
Understand, this video came out over a year ago. This was prior to what the United States did in the Caribbean waters.
lavender can quickly become a matter of life and death. And yet, the generation of these kill lists was arbitrary, based on entirely human judgments about what rating level was sufficient to justify a conclusion that you are very likely Hamas. Is a 65 rating out of 100 in Lavender's AI determination of Hamas like?
And have this administration came out and given you any proof that any one of these boats that were struck by our military had drugs on them? No, they have not. Has this administration said anything about what they are going to do with the drugs coming out of Venezuela since they've taken over Venezuela? No, they have not. They talked to you about the oil. I think it's a Chase Bank, or either Chase or J.P. Morgan has made a contract with the Department of Defense to smelt silver out of Venezuela. That's the only thing that has come out of Venezuela. I think it was 500. Is it a 500 million? 500 million things of oil has come out of Venezuela, and 47 has parked the money for that oil in an offshore account, and saying that he is going to be over that $500 million from the oil sales that came out of Venezuela. So, you think that black and brown people are your problem? Let's continue.
Attributes sufficient to mark you out specifically for death? Does a 78 make you Hamas? A 92? The answer apparently differed at different times during the war. Parade 972 source, quote, the numbers changed all the time because it depends on where you set the bar of what a Hamas operative is. There were times when a Hamas operative was defined more broadly, and then the machine started bringing us all kinds of civil defense personnel, police officers on whom it would be a shame to waste bombs. They help the Hamas government, but they don't really endanger soldiers. Now, of course, you have to appreciate the concern here for the rationing of bombs, not for the human beings that are being killed. Let's put that aside. So once you've got your Lavender created kill list, you got to actually figure out how to get these guys. Finding Hamas in a battle space can be difficult and risky, but what's quick and easy is killing them at their known residences when they go back home to their wife and kids. Now, I want you to imagine for a second that a foreign military or terrorist group was targeting our soldiers en masse when they were at home in their private residences, wantonly slaughtering.
ICE is wearing masks because they don't want to get doxxed. What does your government tell you about ICE, who is going through and breaking all of your constitutional rights? And they tell you that ICE doesn't want to get doxxed. At the same time, they're using this technology in the government and making sure they put cameras up in your face when you do a constitutionally protected activity as protesting your government. And they put out a national security a presidential memorandum number 7 to say how many ways that they can make your protected activity turn into something that they can call you a domestic terrorist. But as you hear all of the administration heads say that you can't dox ICE, family are in jeopardy, are in trouble. What about that family who got caught up on their way to take their child to basketball practice and got all of that gas thrown in and at and under their car until they are 6 months, until they had to run out of their car to get back in home, just minding or had nothing to do with the protests, on their way to basketball practice. And this is what ICE did to them, and the 6-month-old stopped breathing. But your government has said nothing to you about that. But they don't want ICE families to get doxxed. Sound familiar? This has been going on a long, long time. And who benefits from you being so stupid to uphold all the illegal shit that goes on in your own government? Because you want to look at other people as being your problem. The link is in my description box under the real game. I think I have went through this entirely. Let me share a couple of more things with you about this, since so many people are playing dumb. I don't know if they're playing dumb. It could be that some people are just stupid. So you know, what can I do about that? All of these links are in my description box under the title of the real game. So let me share this with you.
Repeatedly headline news cycles for his ambition to purchase or annex Greenland, with the reasoning being national security. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. The real reason starts with a quiet, relatively unknown company. Their name is Praxis, a company whose sole purpose is to create fully private cities. And warning, things are about to get really weird. Praxis was founded by two, for all intents and purposes, random guys. Dryden Brown, a college dropout from a wealthy family, and Charlie Cullinan, a former Boston College wide receiver turned analyst for a hedge fund who joined Brown after getting fired from said hedge fund. They want to create the first, quote, internet native nation, a technological, private, sovereign, utopian society for the wealthy. According to the latest information, they have secured around $524 million from investors. And to no surprise, one of their largest investors is Peter Thiel, primarily through Pronomos Capital, Thiel's venture capitalist firm that invests in private cities, such as the famous Prospera city in Honduras, and a slew of other private city initiatives inside Africa. But most importantly, they invested heavily in Praxis, which might be one of the most important of Thiel's city investments. But if Praxis is to build a city, where would it be? There's quite a few places they've suggested. As you might have guessed, as of 2025, a leading candidate is Greenland. Around the time J.D. Vance was visiting Greenland, Brown tweeted the following: "I went to Greenland to try to buy it," sparking immediate connections. It starts to become obvious the case for annexing Greenland has little to do with national security, but the financial and political interest of the GOP's donors, specifically Thiel and Sam Altman. What's more is after 2028, Trump's existing prior felony convictions and pending charges will be back into play, and it's almost a guarantee that if he loses power, him and many of his administration will go to prison. A private city he founded, with no ties to Western alliances, is a buffer if that was to happen. Greenland also serves as one of the cheaper geographical locations for Praxis to build a city, which leads us to the question: what would a Praxis city look like? In March of 2025, Donald Trump repeatedly headlined news cycles for his ambition to purchase or annex Greenland, with the reasoning being national security. But
we know we can tell a certain demographic anything and say it's because of national security, and you will fall for it. You will look at other poor people as if they are your problem, and why you will never ask, and you will continue to vote for people who never have your interests at heart. And let me tell you, unfortunately, in the Democrat Party, there are a lot of people who don't have your interests at heart as well. I think that this whole everyone needs to wake up. Because this is where America is on the fast track too. So a lot of you people hear all of this propaganda and bullshit, and you are unable to think. What has this administration done to make sure that you're not losing your health care? To give billionaires tax cuts? Why is it that Chuck Schumer walking around and will not say that ICE needs to be defunded? There was ICE has been enacted over 20 years ago. So why do we need ICE to be out on the streets, making our streets look this way? Obviously, they have too much money. And a lot of their money is to collect data on you, to predict your future criminality, and to take away to take away your rights of being what is it? What is it? A probable cause. To take away probable cause, because Peter Thiel's Palantir said that you have the propensity to be a criminal. And let's not forget about what the CEO Alice Karp said, that Palantir will hurt their enemies and in some cases kill their enemies. He was all giddy in that. And that meeting that leaked out, all giddy, but that people are buying into the bullshit. So let me play this for you. I think this is this isn't the one. What? Let me play this with you. Here we go. Let's not forget about the must bucket.
Live out the true meaning of it.
Who they made you believe that was saving you so much money in government. And what did he do? He went in through government, took all of your data and information on this race for AI. And how did that help you? It didn't help you at all. It wasn't meant to help you. It was meant to destroy all of our government agencies. So these people could go in and get government contracts under the guise that they have saved the government so much money. Let me share this with you. All of these are in my description box. All the links to these videos are in my description box under The Real Game.
End of me being here for shows every night, that I wanted to spend these last few shows talking about some of what is around the corner for Trump's second 100 days and beyond. Some new threats in what Trump is doing that the country, I think, hasn't really focused.
Let's see how old this video is. This is not a new video. Since some of you just subscribe to the information that you want to feed your ignorance on, this was 8 months ago. At the 45-47's first 100 days.
Done yet, but I think this is stuff that's on its way. On Monday night, we talked about the first thing I really wanted to raise a flag on, which is this military zone Trump has created on the border where active duty U.S. troops have been given legal authorization to arrest U.S. citizens and search U.S. citizens on U.S. soil. That is not something
that is not something that a lot of people are even bothered to talk about. In intruding on the border, military has been giving the right to arrest American citizens already. This was over 8 months ago. I covered that on my show. That a long swath of the border, I believe, is up to 100 miles inwards into the United States of the border. The military can arrest United States citizens. But y'all think that immigrants and black people are your problem, as you ignore the real problem going on in the United States.
American military is supposed to do. Second thing we talked about last night, which is all of these immigration-related powers being turned against U.S. citizens, agents smashing up the house of a U.S. citizen and her daughters in Oklahoma City, U.S. citizens getting letters from the government telling them to leave the country, U.S. citizens being arrested and held in immigration, citizen children being sent out of the country. This is something that is already happening here. This is not a slippery slope to worry about in the future. It's already happening. But here's the third thing I wanted to raise. It's something that we sort of just, I think, haven't really gotten our heads around it yet. And it relates to Doge and Elon Musk and what he's done in Washington. But it's the sort of black box at the center of whatever he has been doing in Washington. We know that Doge is not about saving money, because even the amount of money that they claim to have saved, it's barely more than the amount of money they are thought to have wasted with the way they have behaved in Washington. There's been a ton of embarrassing and really indefensible mistakes that Musk and the Doge team have made. But those mistakes, no matter how much publicity they get and how often they need to be reversed, it hasn't led them to stop making those mistakes. They haven't course corrected on any of that. So it seems like maybe they're not even viewing those things as mistakes. The one thing they are consistently doing, and doing as aggressively as possible, and they haven't given us an explanation for why they're doing it, is that they are aggregating data. It is a huge data grab from what appears to be every agency in the government. And that really appears to be their only consistent priority, the only thing they are consistently and aggressively doing everywhere they insert themselves. What is that about? Why are they doing that? This is from investigative journalist Julia Engwin, who has reported on data privacy and security for years. She's writing in the New York Times today. She says, quote, Doge is assembling a sprawling domestic surveillance system for the Trump administration, the likes of which we have never seen in the United States. Over the past 100 days, Doge teams have grabbed personal data about U.S. residents from dozens of federal databases and are reportedly merging it all into a master database. This month, House Democratic lawmakers reported that a whistleblower had come forward to reveal that the master database will combine data from federal agencies, including Social Security, the IRS, and the Department of Health and Human Services. The whistleblower also alleged that Doge workers are filling backpacks with multiple laptops, each one loaded with purloined agency data. What this amounts to is a stunningly fast reversal of our long history of siloing government data to prevent its misuse. In their first 100 days, Musk and Trump have knocked down the barriers that were intended to prevent them from creating dossiers on every U.S. resident. Now they seem to be building a defining feature of many authoritarian regimes, comprehensive files on everyone, so they can punish those who protest. A longtime civil liberties lawyer tells Ms. Engwin for the Times today, quote, this is what we were always scared of. The infrastructure for turnkey totalitarianism is there for an administration willing to break the law. Joining us now is Julia Engwin. She's founder of Proof News. She's the author of Dragnet Nation, A Quest for Privacy, Security, and Freedom in a World of Relentless Surveillance. Ms. Engwin, I really appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
So I think that your op-ed is really helpful. I'm not any more tech savvy than the average bear, but I have found myself increasingly worried about what we don't know about why Doge is assembling data the way they are and what they are planning to do with it. For an audience that may not be totally familiar with surveillance technology and the kind of privacy protections that you're so well versed in, can you explain in just layman's terms what you're most worried about here?
Well, what I'm worried about is the fact that the federal government has incredibly sensitive data about us, and we never really think about it, right? We send in our IRS returns, and that every penny we've spent and everything we've earned, we file an unemployment claim benefit, we get a Social Security check, and all those things are separate, and we deal with separate agencies, and never before has the government contemplated putting them all in one place. But that's what Doge is doing. And the thing is that the reason that governments want to do that usually is they want to build these comprehensive dossiers on people. So essentially, the thing that authoritarians really like is they want to be able to say with a snap of a finger, I don't like this person, let's find something on him. And if they have to go to 6, 10 agencies to figure out that thing, that's hard. They want it all in one place. So they want to be able to just get something on you. China is sort of the example that does this. every citizen, everything that they've ever done. It's called social credit score, and they use it to punish dissent. And I'm very worried that that's where we're going. We have a president who's been really outspoken about he wants revenge on his political enemies, and we have somebody collecting data about everyone so that he can go after his enemies.
You write really, I think, articulately and clearly about the privacy laws and the sort of inherent safety structures that are built into siloing data the way that you're describing, so it can't be easily combined. But if the type of one-stop shopping master database is being compiled here, is U.S. privacy law powerless against it? I mean, could legal action force the dismantling of something like that, or would it effectively be beyond the law?
It doesn't seem like anyone is in our government is worried about what's going on with these billionaires doing whatever they want. So I'm gonna leave it there. That link is in my description box. Let me leave you. I started with Don Lemon, and I guess I'll leave you with Don Lemon as well. I will leave you with Don Lemon. It appears that Nicki Minaj has come out with a statement. The cum guzzling Nicki Minaj, Don cock sucking Lemon is disgusting. How dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. Okay. Let's see what Don Lemon has to say in response to Nicki Minaj and her ignorant, undocumented ass. How come ICE hasn't come for Nicki Minaj? Huh? Let's hear Don Lemon's response, shall we? Oops. Let me turn up the volume. Cock up the volume.
Let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans. You're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. And the other thing is that your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll, because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people, and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music. Clock that.
Clock that. Okay. And I will leave you. Just in case you guys didn't know, another buddy of 4547. Let's see what he named his yacht. Larry Ellison. You know, the one who tried to buy Netflix, tried to ramrod the deal with Netflix, and has Barry Weiss over CBS telling you a whole bunch of bullshit and lies. Larry Ellison, co-founder of Oracle and Trump's bestie, had a yacht named there is the name of the yacht. If you have a hard time reading the name of the yacht, do as requested. Read it backwards. If you read it backwards, it says IAMANAZI. That seems like it says I am a Nazi, spelled backwards. So that is the name of his yacht. Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, has a close relationship with 45 and 47 and serves as a key supporter and advisor to 45-47, with giving major donations to Republicans' super PACs in the millions. Ellison has deep pockets for Trump and his friends. Ellison's also placed Oracle in a position to be intimately involved in a government tech projects. The Ellison family has been involved in pro-Israel philanthropy, including donations to Friends of the IDF. Ellison ranks among 4547's top billionaire backers. And one more thing, Ellison's family controls CBS. Ellison owned a super yacht named that. The name backwards spells out the phrase "I am a Nazi." Ellison changed the name of the yacht after the media exposed the name, and Ellison eventually sold the yacht because he could not escape the ridicule around the name of his yacht. That is all. Just Trump and his bestie. So if you didn't know that, and since this is Dr. King's holiday, I will leave you with this. I hope you guys have a great day. Hit the like button on your way out. If you want to, if you would like to support the channel, $RONYIQ. If you learned something today, hit the goals. Thank you.
Still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. This nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spirit. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Years later, the Negro still.
All right, it's your turn. Have a good day. Bye bye.